everyone, and welcome to the another episode of India Law LLP podcast, where we decode the law not just as it's written, but as it's lived. I'm Amisha Amin, and today we are here to discuss the legislative shift that quietly but decisively transforms how the inheritance work in India's largest city. For the decades, estate planning in Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata carried a colonial hangover, one that made and probate not a choice, but a compulsion. That position has now changed. In this episode, we'll explore how the Repealing and Amending Act 2025 liberates the Indian will from mandatory probate, what the repeal of Section 213 of Indian Succession Act truly means, and how this reform reshapes the legacy planning for the families and the professional alike. There are always been a particular shadow hanging over the estate planning in India's major metros that dreaded the mandate of probate. For over a century, if you were in Mumbai, Chennai, or Kolkata, a will wasn't just a document of intent, it was a ticket to a mandatory court battle. But as of the final week of 2025, that an era has finally ended. The passage of repealing and amending 2025 isn't just minor administrative cleanup, it is a fundamental decolonization of our succession laws. By omitting Section 213 of Indian Succession Act, Parliament has finally dismantled the statutory gatekeeper that treated a will in Mumbai as fundamentally more suspicious than a will in Delhi. We have been seeing a shift from regime of a compulsory judicial validation to one of the procedural trust, as it's a change that will save families year of litigation and millions of court fees. To appreciate the relief this brings, we have to look at the sheer absurdity of this old Section 213. It was a provision rooted in the British Presidency Towns framework. If you are Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, or Jain, you lived in the original civil jurisdiction of High Court of Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta, you were legally barred from the establishing your rights as executor without a probate. The pros of this system were purely evidentiary, it provided a judicial seal of authenticity, but the cons were overwhelming. It was geographical and religionally discriminatory. It created a unique burden of residents of these three cities within, while the rest of the countries operated under a much easier regime. For a decade, families were forced into probate proceedings, even for uncontested will, simply because of where the property was situated. In my view, the 2025 repeal is a over long due correction of the law that outlived in the purpose by nearly a century. The 2025 bill performs a surgical cleanup of the Act, and the real impact for an average person lies in an amendment of Section 370. This section historically acted as a secondary roadblock. It prohibited a court from granting a succession certificate for a movable assets like bank balances or shares if a probate was required under Section 213. This created a financial stalemate where grieving families couldn't even access their loved ones' savings account without first finishing a multi-year probate case. With the amendment of Section 370 alongside the repeal of Section 313, the impediments has been removed. We have also seen a changes to Section 3, removing the state's power to exempt these specific tribes or sects because the mandate itself no longer exists to be exempted from. It is a comprehensive harmonization. We are finally seeing an unified succession law where transformation of bank's account or flat in Mumbai is as straightforward as anywhere else in the Republic. Now, as we consider the practical reality of this transition, under Section 4 of the new Act, the Standard Saving Clause, the repeal is a prospective. This means it does not automatically dissolve the current disputes or invalidate the probate already in pipeline. If you are currently in the court, your accrued rights and liabilities stays under the old framework. However, looking forward, the question shifts from must I probate to should I probate. My insight in that, while the compulsion is dead, the voluntary probate remains a sophisticated strategic tool. A probate is a judgment in rem, it is a decree that is binding against the entire world. In the case of high value real estate or potential family frictions, having a court certified will still provide an ultimate marketable title. The law has essentially moved from forcing you into a courtroom to giving you the professional choice to seek judicial finality in your estate requires it. To conclude, 2025 reform presents far more a statutory housekeeping. They mark a philosophical shift in Indian succession law by removing a mandatory probate. The Parliament has returned a power to the testator, stripped the Indian Succession Act of its colonial baggage, reduced the needless litigation, and erased a geographical distinction that has no place in the modern republic. The inheritance has transitioned from a mandatory judicial order to a private family matter one, governed by a trust rather than a compulsion, while still preserving a voluntary probate as a strategical tool for those seeking an absolute certainty and marketable title. The landscape of legacy planning in India is now more liberated than it was since in 1925. The message is clear. The succession has moved from a colonial courtroom to a conscious choice. Thank you for listening to India Law LLP podcast. I'm Amisha Amin and we'll be back with more insights at intersection of law, policy and practice. To know more, reach out to us at contact@indialaw.in.